So what if you could build an entire factory and test it before a single brick was ever laid? I mean, really test it. Or what if you had an AI that didn't just look at data from a jet engine, but actually understood the physics, the laws of thermodynamics that make it work? Well, this isn't science fiction anymore. We're talking about a truly revolutionary technology that's making this happen right now, creating what a lot of folks are calling a true industrial metaverse. And this quote from Siemens, it just nails it. This is the holy grail for modern industry, right? The dream isn't just about having a simple digital copy. No, it's about a living, breathing, physically accurate replica. A world where you can test and fail and perfect every single little process, completely risk-free. It's a total shift from just reacting to problems to stopping them before they even start, all inside a virtual sandbox. All right, so how do we get there? Here's our roadmap. We're going to start with the big problem, the digital twin dilemma. Then we'll get into the secret sauce, an AI that actually knows physics. We'll see how you scale that up to a whole factory, check out the real-world payoff, and finally, peek into the future, the autonomous future. Okay, let's dive right into the central challenge here. The idea of a digital twin isn't new. It's actually been around since 2002. So you have to ask, why haven't we had these real-time factory-scale simulations until just now? Well, the answer is a huge gap between the dream and the reality of what our computers could handle. The biggest bottleneck has always been speed, plain and simple. For decades, we've had super accurate ways to simulate things like finite element analysis for modeling stress on parts. But the problem? They are painfully slow and cost a fortune in computing power. I mean, just to model the airflow in a single room could take you hours, maybe even days. So trying to do that for a whole factory in real time? No way. It was completely impossible. It was kind of like trying to watch a movie that's running at 1 frame per day. So how do you finally break that computational logjam? Well, you need something that's got the lightning speed of AI, but also the strict, rule-following rigor of classical physics. And that breakthrough? That's exactly what a physics-informed neural network, or PIN, is all about. Okay, think of it like this. A normal AI, it learns by just looking at millions of examples, right? Like tons of pictures of cats. A PNN, it does that too, but, and this is the key, it also has to obey the fundamental rules of the universe. It's like we forced the AI to go to physics school so it could learn the why behind all the data. It has to follow the actual math, the partial differential equations that describe how heat moves, how water flows, how a steel beam handles stress. And that makes it unbelievably powerful. And this is where you really see the magic. On one hand, you've got traditional methods. They're super accurate, but so slow. On the other hand, you have purely data-driven AI. It's fast, but it can make predictions that are just physically impossible because it doesn't know the rules. It might predict, say, an object cooling down inside a furnace. But pins, they give you the best of both worlds. They're rapid, just like an AI, but they're also super accurate because the laws of physics are literally baked into how they learn. And what's really a game changer is that they can make amazing predictions even when the data from the real world is messy or incomplete. So how does it actually learn all this stuff? Well, you can think of it as a 3-part balancing act. It has 3 jobs. Job 1, its predictions have to match the real-world sensor data we feed it. Job 2, its predictions have to obey the laws of physics. If it makes a prediction that breaks a rule, it gets a penalty and has to correct itself. And job 3, it has to respect the starting conditions of whatever system it's looking at. By trying to get a perfect score on all 3 of these jobs at once, the network finds a solution that's not just backed by data, but is also physically possible. Okay, so this tech is absolutely brilliant for modeling, say, a single car part. But a whole factory, that's a massively complex system of systems. So how in the world do you apply this amazing tool to something that enormous? Well, the answer isn't to try and build one single giant model. You have to be way smarter about it. You use what's called a divide and conquer strategy. It turns out one single giant neural network really struggles to learn all the tiny fine-grained details. So instead, you break the whole factory down into smaller, more manageable zones. Then you train a separate, specialized pin for each little zone. And the best part? You can train all of them at the exact same time on huge clusters of GPUs. This lets the model capture everything, from the big picture overview down to the supercritical physics happening in one tiny corner, all with incredible accuracy. And here's another superpower these things have. A factory is swimming in data, right? You've got some data from super accurate, really expensive simulations, And then you've got a ton of data from cheap, kind of noisy sensors out on the factory floor. Normally, trying to mix those together is a nightmare. But pins? They can act like the perfect bridge between them. They use the laws of physics as the ultimate source of truth to fill in the gaps, clean up the noise, and basically merge all that data into one single coherent and highly accurate picture of what's happening everywhere all at once. All right, this all sounds great in theory, but what does it actually mean for the real world? Let's talk about the payoff. Let's look at some real numbers, because this is where it gets incredibly exciting. Companies are already seeing some absolutely massive returns on this. 50%. Take Wistron, a huge electronics manufacturer. By building a digital twin of their factories, they could play around with new layouts and test new processes in the virtual world first. And the result? They cut their entire end-to-end production time in half. That is a completely game-changing level of efficiency, especially in a market that competitive. How about 20%? Look at PepsiCo. They made a digital twin of their warehouses, simulating everything, right down to the exact path each worker walked. By trying out changes virtually, they found all these hidden bottlenecks and managed to increase the throughput of their existing facilities by a staggering 20%. And they did it without having to spend a ton of money on new buildings. Okay, 70%. This one is huge. In heavy industry, the impact is even more dramatic. Siemens Energy is using this tech to model the insanely complex fluid dynamics inside steam generators. A simulation that used to take days now takes seconds. This means they can predict failures long before they happen, potentially cutting unplanned downtime by 70%. And in that industry, downtime costs billions. That's a massive saving. And look, the impact here goes way beyond just making money. This technology is actually helping us fight climate change. When you use these pin-based frameworks to model really complex carbon capture systems, they're not just a little faster, they are 10,000 times faster than the old methods. A 10,000x speed up? That kind of speed allows for real-time control and optimization, which makes the whole process of capturing carbon cheaper and way more effective. And the impact is just incredibly broad. It's touching almost every industry. You're talking about making air travel safer with better engine maintenance, cutting down on expensive physical car prototypes, or even getting more yield out of manufacturing runs for life-saving medicines. This physics-based AI is just fundamentally changing how we design and build, well, everything. So we've got a technology that can perfectly mirror reality in real time. That's amazing. But where does it go from here? Well, the next step isn't just a small step, it's a monumental leap forward, from simply predicting the future to actively helping us shape it. This is leading to a new idea that people are calling agentic engineering. Just imagine this. An engineer could just tell an AI agent, hey, design me a more efficient turbine blade. And the agent, using these lightning-fast physics models as its brain, could then just go off and simulate thousands, maybe millions of different designs on its own. It would test every single one for performance and check if it can actually be built, and then just present the best possible option back to the engineer. This totally changes the engineer's job, right? They go from being a hands-on doer to more of a director for these incredibly creative AI systems. And this timeline kind of lays out the journey we're on. Right now, today, we've got predictive twins. They look at reality and tell us what's probably going to happen next. In the very near future, we get agentic twins. They can understand what we want and autonomously run simulations to suggest improvements. But the big goal, say by 2030, is the cognitive twin. This is a system that doesn't just predict and suggest, it can autonomously act. It could be adjusting machine settings on the fly, rerouting entire supply chains, managing energy use, all without a human having to push a button. And all of this leaves us with a really profound question to think about. We are standing right on the edge of building factories that aren't just automated, they're truly autonomous. We're talking about factories that can learn, adapt, and optimize themselves in real time. So what does that world actually look like? What new levels of efficiency, sustainability, and innovation are even possible when our entire industrial world finally starts to think? That's the future that's being built right now.